Good late morning, everybody. This is Merchant Metals. We are looking at this scrap that's up here on the bench, all the stuff that I had set to the right of me as I was processing like the last 3 or 4 benchfuls of stuff. This stuff kind of requires like a grinder or some sort of action that requires me to wear that Spaceman helmet over there. Got copper pipes, brass fittings. These are all going to get set over here first. They're basically just like little electric motors, and it's seriously easy to get the copper windings out of this stuff. Today's Wednesday, so it's concrete jungle day. We're gonna see how big of a copper ball I can get out of that. What we're doing first, like I said, what we're doing first is we're setting up and organizing everything so it's all laid out, easy for me to grab and continue cutting. So I wear that helmet all in one cutting session, let's say. But to tear these down and get them ready, I don't need a grinder quite yet, so that's why they're over there. I'm gonna put all like the brass fittings with steel chunks all in one area. Same with the copper pipes. I was hoping I had enough workspace to get it all laid out, but I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll see. Those are going to be interesting. We need a keyway Allen star key. Like the security nuts is what's on those. I don't think I got that type of bit. In the event that I don't have that type of bit, the grinder gets involved and then it gets finished. These are interesting. These don't require an angle grinder at all, and it's heavy copper. I just got to basically snip the wire and break the porcelain that's in the middle. This porcelain shatters and it could really get in your eye and give you a bad day. You'll have a bad day if it gets in your eye, yeah, for sure. Sort of the same with these units. I pull little transformers out of these. If they're good heavy ones, I set them to the side. I usually toss these right in the copper breakage to get worked on another day. Can opener, I don't need that no more. That was from the taste test. I found that one night. That's tin shred. That's #1 copper. I'm filing all these little hose fittings right here, so they're all ready to cut. But as you guys can see, it's slowly getting organized to where I'm going to be able to just break it all down. It puts it in order in my head anyways. It's a lot easier than looking at a huge disorganized pile. That's going to help increase our workflow for sure. Faucets and stuff like that go there. I got to really look into these brass LED landscaping lights to see if they're even worth it. What it looks to be is one of these lights on the inside are busted. I can hear stuff in it when I shake it. The wire's snipped and cut. I don't even know if they work or not, but... And then I only have a stand for one of them. The other 2 stands are missing, so it's missing stuff as well. This stuff might get scrapped. That's what I'm thinking, since it's such solid brass. But there goes my helmet. But I'm setting that stuff to the side for now, and we'll make a final decision on that. Someone did look those up, and they were super expensive, let's just say. I bagged up a bunch of scrap before I started the cameras too, so that's kind of why all my buckets are all empty and ready to continue. I did that in advance. Okay, the rest is looking like schmutzel. That's cast aluminum, whatever that was. I gotta go through this pile of stuff. This hand soap was supposed to go inside. This hand soap. It needs to. Ah, there's the flathead bits that I bought at a flea market. There we go. I got more flathead bits. It was nice to make that extra room. I was able to slide that stuff down, but now we can start working on the things that need to get prepped the most for the grinder, which is going to be over here at the end of the table. Right. I'm going to grab my drill. Usually these just take Phillips to get into, but we're just trying to take the back cover off, and that's it. All right. Like that. Like that. We're after these copper coils that are in these. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll pop these little plastic flywheels off to start. Like that. A couple little tabs on each side. I'd like to break those like that to expose the copper. Okay. Do that to all of them. I just did that to try to open them up is all. There's little caps that'll pop off if you smack them around a bit. Okay. That's actually just hand tight. That piece popped off of there. If I could do the same to the other side. I can't believe they both just spun off there so nicely. But that was a couple of chunks of brass. Alright, we got it. And you got some brass and copper you can separate and throw that right in the pile with them pipes right there, and we can clean those all up with the shears before we move on to everything else, I guess. And it's just all plastic. Usually these are cast aluminum, but the newer the faucets are, the cheaper they are. More plastic. Basically, we can clean that up with a shear on that. Just needed a Phillips on that one. That means the rest of this faucet's got a good chance of having good content on it. We're gonna get it easy. Look at that. Maybe I gotta smack some of this smutzel off there. Someone really tried to make this last. They patched it with whatever, plumber's putty, probably. Definitely stainless steel. Get that piece of goodies there. Tells me that that's basically cast aluminum with a little bit of other things on there, but man, that's breakage to me. Okay. Let's do this one. Let's check it anyways. I don't think it unspins. Oh yeah. It's definitely made of the brass. We just got to cut that piece of steel off and that'll be brass, yellow brass. Okay, it's got a cast aluminum handle and a little hose we need to cut off there. Other than that, it can go in yellow brass. Just got to clean a couple little things up on that. I think this is cast aluminum, this piece. Most definitely is. Even that part is. So that's all ready for the grinder. Little needle nose pliers on those. We're over here. Little needle nose pliers on these. Just unscrew the one nut on the bottom. Boom. tin shred, copper, brass, and little motor. These are going to get sawzawed. I'm going to use that new sawzall to cut these open. We're going to do that last, I think, along with these for more copper. And then these, we got to figure out what we're going to do with these. I don't have the right keyway for that. It's a security style keyway. I believe if I just cut those 4 heads off with a grinder, I could get that copper and that brass out of there. We'll set these in a cut pile. We got about half a grinding wheel. As soon as we finish this, cleaning this pipe up, I'd say. Yeah, let's clean that pipe up. That can get done right now. Right over here. I'm gonna... That's gonna be all number 2 copper. It's got solder all over it. I was only able to get like 1 piece of number 1 off of it. So that's all the pipe pieces with the brass trunks. We'll get them in their respective categories right now. Sometimes these seals will give you a problem. If you can pick them out, you might have a more fair shot of getting what you want out of it. There it goes. Piece of brass, tin shred. Let's do that again. There goes the seal. There's your brass. All right. So now we're gonna get the grinder going because everything is ready for the grinder from there all the way to here. And then these pieces are more of like manual breakdown stuff. So Spaceman time. Now that that part's done, I'm gonna kind of clean my mess up down here. That's all gonna be tint shred. Technically, this is probably like dirty stainless, but I don't think I'll be turning in a bag of that, so aluminum breakage on that. Copper and brass right here, we can clean that up a bit. I'm pretty sure this is just tin shred. I don't know. Yeah, it's tin shred. Okay. Yellow brass. This so happens to be brass, I believe. It is. It's brass. Sometimes those are brass. This is number 2. Yeah. That's all brass. Tin shred. I gotta pull the steel chunks off of that though. And now we're yellow brass. Tin shred. Tin shred. See, I thought that was crazy. All these pipe fittings are all brass. That's what it shows up as anyway. Sounds like it. No spark with a grinder. Yeah, it's all... I believe maybe that looks more like a white brass, because it looks whiter compared to the yellow, but it's definitely brass. That's tin shred. Nice. All right. Now we're gonna move on down to these. I'm gonna pull them up to me actually. We're gonna work right here. But anywho, let's work on this one. Remember when we cut these, right? You got a cut there, and these 2 tabs are smashed off. It's easy for you to get a needle nose pliers in there. Try to get the whole winding without the tape on there, and that's going to help you pull the winding out all the way. So I grab it real hard, and then I twist the whole pump like that. I use the pump for leverage, and it helps unload the number 2 copper out of there. Quite easy. And I throw the rest in tin shred. Yeah. Give it a twist. There. You can get in there and negotiate it a little bit like that if you want. This one's a little bit stiffer. But a good twist, it'll get it out almost every time. That's got aluminum winding. Just get rid of it. Tape off there, and then show, whoop, pinch and twist. I'd say that's about, it feels like 2 or 3 pounds. Not bad. For just a small part of the breakdown, that wasn't bad. This is their last remaining stuff on the bench. Right here. We got those 2 big fuses and a bunch of small. I think these are I think this is a type of power module. We're going to start by opening the fuses though. I'm going to grab the Sawzall and we're going to cut these caps clean off and see what happens. See what comes out of it. Okay. Right there. Let's cut it. A lot of sand. Yeah, it feels like 10 pounds lighter now. And there's nothing inside. There's no, it's a hollow tube. So maybe that's silver. These little giblets right there. That's all I see in there, and there's not a lot of them. looking beautiful. Okay. It's a lot of sand. So the easiest way that I found to go about these is I'm going to literally take either my wedge hammer or my hatchet, and I'm going to crack the porcelain and clean it up. And you'll see kind of what's going on the inside of these, which is just, it's a lot of good copper. So, yeah. That's going to require our Spaceman helmet again, which is fine. For protection. We're going to want to open them all just like that. Okay, now that those are all sort of cracked open, we can probably grab our needle nose pliers and probably our snips, clean the wires up. The wires are cleaned up. Grab my snips. This is all going to be copper. Copper. Beautiful copper. even that part is. We might be able to take our pliers, maybe crunch it a little bit, but for the most part we want cleaner looking pieces. But if I could just do that and twist them off, I'd be happy with that too. I'm talking about the little porcelain chunks that are coming off. Little twisting motion is working well. Trying to get the majority of the porcelain up off of there. I don't know what those are. This silver foil. This is just glass. We'll set that stuff to the side. This is all garbage. There. We're going to call all that number 2 copper. Yeah, when I'm messing with porcelain, I do my best to get it as clean as possible. That stuff could really hurt you. Careful when you're grabbing it and working around it, man. I've had porcelain cut me deeper than any other thing in the world that has cut me. That has cut me. Yeah. But anyways, here's our number 2 copper. Nice heavy weight with that. I'm going to show y'all what's next coming up on the bench. Whatever this is. Oh. Let's throw this up there. Mystery bag. Yeah, mystery bag. And this is our next round of scraps that we will be working on in future videos. This is Merchant Metals. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight is Concrete Jungle Day, and I got something else I gotta go do for the next half of this day. So this is what we're gonna be picking up on at the bench. It's starting to look a lot better back here. Okay, so remember a while back when I went dumpster diving and I found that jewelry? I've been so curious to see how much in weight on a true jeweler's scale, to see how much in weight in gold there was from that haul. Basically, I am going to go check these 4 items. These 4 items right here. That's an 18 karat gold, white gold necklace, and then there's 3 rings right there that you guys can see. Those 3 rings right there, and this necklace is what I'm, well, and this too. This also says 14K on it, but I don't know if it's just gold plated or not. It's a gold locket. But yeah, I'm gonna go get those items checked out, and we're gonna see how much in weight that turned out to be. And he might potentially be able to give me a value or some information on these 2 rings right here specifically. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to find out what exactly I have here in value. Yeah. And no particular reason why I decided to just check it out now, but there's a local jeweler store and I am curious to see maybe what he has to say about it. So all right, we're gonna go get that checked out. I don't know if he'll let me record or not, but if not, I'll just explain it when I get back, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. So what's that, the wedding band?
That one is the wedding band, yep.
So 3.33 grams of gold, okay. Is that 5? And then you said there would be like 2 grams would be the stone?
Approximately. I think the gold is 3 or probably 3.3. Between 3 to 3.5 grams of gold.
And you said that one, even though it says like 14K, it just looks like it's lower grade?
Yep, I would test it before I would buy it. But.
Right.
And that one, the stone weight is small. There's probably a 0.5 gram of stone weight in there.
So then that's
almost all 6.5-ish grams of gold.
Okay.
And that's 14. And this one's marked 18, but I would definitely test that as well. It looks like white gold. I don't see the doubt there, but
then it's
double check that.
7.28 grams. Okay. What about that one right there?
Hi. Hi. Hello. How can I help you?
So this one.
As far as gold is going, what is gold going for per gram or ounce? Has it been going up and down lately?
Up and down, yep.
Yeah.
So right now, $4,130 an ounce.
And is that good, or like, you know, like up or down wise?
So
or has it been trending down?
in the last year, a year ago it was $3,100, so it's
Yeah.
$1,000 more than that. At the end of last year, it peaked over 5,000.